Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking another look at ZIM, Integrated Shipping Services, also known by the ticker symbol ZIM, Z-I-M. So, since the last time we talked about ZIM, ZIM's had a bit of a rough week, but there's some silver lining, some less silver lining, and we're going to go through all of it. But first things first, let's take a look at the chart. So this is a view of the past 6 months, and you could see we are at a critical support right now around the $40 to $41 level. And it is important that we hold this level indeed, because we have not been at this down to these levels in quite a while. So let's look at the 3 months. So we could see that we did in July have that low, and we had been trying to kind of claw our way back, and we did drop a bit towards the very end of this past week. So August 25th, August 26th. Take it with a grain of salt, because there's two things that are critical to remember here. The first is that ZIM went ex-dividend on Friday, so immediately that cut the stock price down a few dollars. And also, the whole market sold off on Friday. Friday was nothing but a total bloodbath after the Jackson Hole, Powell comments, so it's not really that surprising that it would drop. Otherwise, it may well just be kind of trading sideways at these levels. But those are two critical facts to keep in mind. I think the important thing is what happens from here. So is ZIM going to show some signs of recovery this coming week? Or is ZIM going to fall below the support? It's impossible to tell, but there has also been some news that has been hurting ZIM, so hopefully the news is behind us and we could go forward and go higher. But just to touch on that news, what happened? Well, I'll tell you. So there was a fire on one of ZIM's ships off Colombo, which is the capital or major city of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean. So as you can see here, a fire ripped through the ship. Not a great sign. It did destroy some of the containers. Again, not the end of the world, but I'm sure the market didn't like seeing that. I didn't realize this. Apparently that there's a major fire in one of these container ships about every 60 days. So really not that unusual. I mean, not great. You never want to see your ship on fire. But this isn't like an event that the shipping companies have never seen before. It's apparently a pretty common occurrence. So again, not great, but great that it's behind us now, and we could hopefully move forward and not have to deal with one of these fires in a while. Another negative thing that happened with ZIM this week, just to get the negative out of the way, is Citigroup downgraded ZIM. So what can we say about Citigroup? So we could see that, a lot of these financial institutions have been holding ZIM at neutral or are now starting downgrading them. It just has to do with what we were saying in earlier videos with the shipping rates. I mean, ZIM's profits and losses are not going to depend on what Citigroup says. It's going to depend on how much money they're going to charge for their customers. And so, as we've already seen, we know that shipping rates had peaked and then had been declining for the past months, although they're still elevated. And that's why the executives over at ZIM have still said, we're not at our peak, but we're still in a highly profitable situation because these rates are so high. But it is what it is. So we could see here, Citigroup downgraded ZIM from a buy to a neutral rating. Okay. And let's see what else. What other smart money people are doing? So Clarkson Capital reiterated a neutral rating. Fine. Barclays dropped their price target from 76 to 63. Bank of America lowered Zim from a buy rating to an underperform rating. And JP Morgan Chase actually upgraded Zim from an underrate to a neutral rating. So, a bit of a mixed bag, largely downgrades, but, some JPM upgrading. That's good to see. And, there's been a lot of market manipulation, the whole stock market, obviously. But Zim is not immune to that at all, and a lot of people are placing bearish and bullish bets on Zim. I wanted to take a look at this. So here we could see there has been some usual option activity, and so this was as of this past Thursday, August 25th. So apparently traders purchased 90,504 call options on the company, which is an increase of approximately 321% compared to the typical daily volume of 21,512 call options. So keep in mind, though, it makes total sense that someone would do this on Thursday and betting that the stock would improve because they know that two things are happening on Friday. The two things we said, that Zim would go ex-dividend, so immediately that would cut into their stock price. And two, that it was the Jackson Hole comments, and some people were expecting maybe Jay Powell to say something more dovish, but clearly he didn't say something dovish, and which brought the market and Zim down. So, and if we remember the last time Zim paid out its dividend, something very similar happened, where on the ex-dividend date, of course, the stock price was lower. But then in the next couple of days, the stock price kind of recovered to where it had been trading. It didn't shoot to the moon, but it just kind of went back to where it had been and kind of hovered around that area. So it makes sense that there would be heavy call option activity leading up to this event. And so we could see here, it's more of kind of the same of what we were saying. Certain institutions, here we have Northwestern Mutual is increasing their position on Zim. Cullen/Frost Bankers is increasing their position on Zim. I mean, the thing with Zim, and what I always go back to, is Zim, it depends on really what you want to do in terms of your investing goals and strategies, because Zim is a stock here that's just going to pay you to hold on to their shares, I mean, regardless of what happens to the price, ideally we'd like it to go back to this, $70 or even $90 level it was at earlier. But even if it doesn't, I mean, we're going to get paid that $4.75 dividend in the next couple of weeks in September. And Zim has made it clear that not only do they have a ton of free cash flow, but that they're going to start or continue just paying that out to their investors. And so here's some perspective looking at the 1 year chart. So we could see a year ago, we were basically, we're a little bit lower, but not really, where we were. And we had this massive rise that was all due to the, the shipping rates as a result of the supply chain woes with COVID and whatnot. And then we kind of calmed down, and now we're kind of calmed down back to where we are. But so Zim is just it's kind of in that place that it's been in before. And these are what happens with, this is what happens with a stock like Zim, because it's so cyclical. The only issue is, do you want to just hold on to the stock and get paid while you're holding it, these big dividends? And in the meantime, it might go up, it might go down. It's totally going to be at the mercy of the shipping rates. But you're just going to get paid to hold it. That's kind of the way I look at it. But again, I'm not a financial planner. You could do your own due diligence and research on stocks like this. But to me, that just makes sense to kind of just hold on to it and just get paid and not really think about it or worry about it. And wait and see how the shipping rates go and what happens with the supply chain, because we're still in the same situation we were in the sense that There's a ton of uncertainty in the market concerning any potential recession. There's a ton of uncertainty in the market concerning China opening up and what they're going to do. I mean, none of that's resolved, and until it is, we're kind of like in this limbo place. But those are just my thoughts. But let me know what you think. Let me leave a comment below. Let me know if you're buying Zim shares, if you're selling your shares, if you're just holding, and I'll catch you in the next one.